Once more again, welcome to Global Leadership Perspectives, and this is one channel where we break leaders and leadership into palatable pieces that can make sense to us at our level. And today I would like to look at the general uh, leadership where the Kenya and the new government is concerned. Just a few observation, maybe three or four, and perhaps you could also comment and share your feelings and maybe your uh, uh, your reaction to where this is concerned. I know there are many, but I would just like to point out a few that I have observed. And one of the things that I have observed where this new regime or new government is concerned is that the issue of excitement. Of course, it is always proper for one to get excited, of course, when you get something that you've been looking for. But in this case, I tend to feel that they are too much excited, and this has gone to the excess. And I think at the end of the day, it will have to lose its meaning and perhaps to carry them uh, off track what they're supposed to be doing. So yes, they are overexcited, and this overexcited is somehow making them to forget the reason why they are into those offices where they are. And so I think they need to very quickly come back to their senses and know, yes, they celebrated the kind of the offices they got, which is quite okay, but then they don't need to stretch it too long because they've been in the office barely 6 or so months, and so they need to have settled and now serving the Kenyan people. And this kind of excitement, we see it when they are outside there, they are talking about it, they are making noise about it, and so they need to do something about it. And the other observation that also I have made where the new crop of leaders with the new government is concerned is that this crop of leaders, they have refused to come outside the campaign mode. Before election, of course, everyone was in the campaign mode and people were campaigning. And after election, and it is assumed that campaign mode is over and now people need to serve the people. But in this case, it appears they have refused to come out of the campaign mode, and this is quite evident and visible in the kind of the genre we see, the kind of the language that they are using when they outside there on the platform. And so, sorry, somebody is calling me, but I have to disconnect. We see it in the campaign mode. I mean, not in the campaign mode, but in the kind of the platform they have. We see them still talking politics. We see them still behaving as if the campaign is still on, and think they need to come to their senses and realize that politics is over and it is a time for them to really deliver and on their mandate and serve the people of Kenya, and dragging the country to the politics mode, it doesn't help. And they will even forget that's what they're doing, and they will accuse the opposition, which opposition, it's their mandate to keep them on toes and to criticize them, to critique them. And they will easily find themselves also wanting to get into that kind of platform, and to defend themselves or to prove a point, and that is not healthy to to them as leaders that are in place. And that thing that I have observed is that it appears to me that the new crop of leaders, they are into the government with a view of making business or making money. And so this is a conflict that is really undermining the aspect of service to the citizens or to the people that they are representing. And looking at at government in that perspective, I don't think is a service. Rather, it is a disservice to the people that they are representing. And so, you know, if you are in the public office, your mandate is to offer services and your mandate is to serve the people. But in this case, it appears that most of them are excited about these offices and they have a very high appetite of enriching themselves. And it appears that is what is really occupying their mind, and this may really make them not to perform at the end of the 5 years. That's why we've always seen those who get into politics, they get there when they have nothing. By the time they're coming out of politics or after 5 years, they have accumulated unbelievable resources or wealth that sometimes beat logic. And so the this kind of observation is, or this kind of trend is quite worrying, because it is going to undermine um, especially the efforts of what should be the government offering services to the people. And so I don't know how they're going to really work on this, but somehow, anyhow, they need to do it. And the other observation that appears to be a little bit actually is quite serious, though I know it's something that can be solved. We have quite a new crop of leaders, young people who are getting into governmental positions and into politics, and which is a good thing. It's a plus. That's quite impressive. But then they are coming in without experience, and they do not have the experience to offer services to to or to work in the government as public servants. And this is also the reason why they are coming in it with the view of making money and enriching themselves. And so these young people who are coming into this, they do not have experience. I know, of course, this can be developed. They do not have the know-how on how to go about it. So you find they make a lot of mistakes, and one of the mistakes, of course, wanting to make money out of it, and at the end of the day, it beats logic why they have those kind of positions, and it does not help. And at the end of the day, what kind of picture does it send to other young people outside there? Is that, hey, you know what, the only thing we need to work hard maybe is to ensure that we get government appointment or political positions, then this can help us to enrich ourselves. So this is quite unfortunate, and I don't know how Kenya is going to help us and what is going to happen. And the other observation, which is overlaps this aspect of experience, is that this will delay the growth and the prosperity of the country, because by the time these people come to know what they need to do, how they need to do, time has already gone, and this is happening at the expense of Kenyans and the people of Kenya. And so something needs to really be done. Otherwise, we're going to waste a big chunk of time, and this is going to cost us, and this is going to cost even the leadership and the people of Kenya. So something needs to be done where this is concerned. And the other observation also has to do with personalities, and this is that most of these leaders, they're quite reckless in their speech. They can talk anything they want, say anything they want. It doesn't matter. They don't care. It's as if values are no longer there with them. It's as if ethics, it's as if they completely have no norms. And most of them are talking quite reckless things and things that are very detrimental to the country, things that are not going to help the country. And so something needs to be done. Otherwise, uh, at the end of their 5 years or whichever, we may not like the outcomes. And for me, my responsibility on this channel, I'm looking at the leaders and I'm looking at leadership, and just trying to make it palatable, bring it, interpret, and in a way that you can understand and you can resonate with it and see that something either needs to be done, or at least uh, an intervention is required somewhere. So the new government, from the president, the vice president, and all of them, we find them really, they're very reckless in their talking. Reckless. Reckless, they're just reckless. They don't care about the unity of the country, they don't care about the cohesion, they don't care about the impact even on the global stage and on the international relations. They just talk recklessly. I don't know whether it is the first reasons observation I gave, which they're too excited that they even forget they need to speak, and they need to, with responsibility. uh, they're too excited. There are many reasons, there are many examples, I mean, I can give, but because I know, especially if you're Kenya or you're interested, or you follow the political, the leadership of the country, then you will exactly see what I'm talking about. And so uh, this really needs a lot of intervention. Otherwise, with these few observations that I have made, it appears that it is giving sufficient grounds for opposition to make their case, especially to the Mwananchi, to the people of Kenya. And this will endear the opposition to the people, because opposition will talk about it. Remember, as opposition leaders, it's easy for them to critique and criticize the government, and that will highly resonate with people, especially if the government is not performing, and when it appears that the people are not impressed with the proceedings or the performance of the government. So something needs to be done, and it is upon us, the people, to really look at it and see what we can do in your own individual capacity or collective capacity. But with this observation, if things doesn't change, then it is not really looking good for Kenya, and something needs to be done, and it needs to be urgently done. Because the last observation that I've made is that, and this relates to the appetite of really accumulating wealth, is that Kenyan leaders are people with dubious deals, people who appears to be mafia in their own context. They come up with very dubious means, as long as it is benefiting them. They don't care about the process, they don't care about the means, as long as they get what they want. Whether this means is stepping on others, whether this means is undermining others, whether this means is not respecting the law, and they will do all they can just to achieve what they want. And so with this kind of observation and perception that is outside there, really something needs to be done. Otherwise, we will not be headed in the right direction. And so, as you think about these things, just down there, you can subscribe to this channel, you can like it, you can hit the bell, and so that this kind of interpretations and messaging can reach to many other people, and they could as well as get informed and know what to do and how to behave, especially with this kind of analysis or observations I have made. So the King bless you and God bless Kenya.